What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 676 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I am not Christian Piles. Christian is at the airport right now, about to fly to Tokyo, where he will be covering the 2021 Olympics, 2020 Olympics, however you still want to say it. But that's okay, because John Kozak is joining the show today, along with Ben Askren. As always, we're going to get into some Olympic stuff. This will be our last show before the Olympics actually gets started on Saturday night here, our time. So we'll go through and make some picks and whatnot. A couple news items to get to before. First, let's roll with. Did y'all see these Spencer Lee t-shirts that came out?
Yeah, he's got at least 2 t-shirts now.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, neither one is with a really like a wrestling apparel company, you know, one of the bigger names, whether it be Nike or Adidas or Rudis. Yanni signed with Spartan Combat. So, but Ironside Apparel, no offense, Mark Ironside, great wrestler, not known as a huge wrestling apparel company. And then the other one is obviously Barstool Sports, again, not a wrestling apparel company. So I thought that was interesting that he's got 2 shirts. I like that he wasn't forced into an exclusive deal and he could do them both. And I thought it was really cool that Dave Portnoy, the man himself, this is their first NIL t-shirt that he is tweeting about.
Yeah, that's a huge brand getting behind wrestlers and promoting them and liking them. Like I said before the show, Portnoy has been talking about Gable Steveson as well, both on Twitter and on shows and stuff. And so they're like excited to work with these guys.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we kind of were talking about before is when you saw them release their athletes that they were, sponsoring, all the wrestling ones got like way more interaction. And now to see Spencer get the first t-shirt, like to me, that's a really big deal. And I don't think, I didn't expect it coming off of their promotion thing.
So, but Barstool generally has not sold merchandise, or do they?
They sell a lot of merchandise.
They sell a lot of merchandise. Okay,
yes.
Well, that's great then. So hopefully they sell a whole bunch of Spencer Lee shirts.
They're really good at, and I don't know, JD, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like they're really good at when something happens in sports, like a tagline or something unique happens.
Taking advantage and capitalizing.
They like right off the bat, they take advantage of it and make a shirt off of it. And they like kind of strike while the iron's hot.
Absolutely.
God, that's smart. Nice.
Yeah. So
which one are you buying, guys?
I'm going
Barstool one.
I'm going the Barstool one. Space said it. He said it nicely. It's got big 3-wolf howling at the moon energy.
Yeah.
So is that like I think that style is coming back in a little bit, whereas maybe 5 to 10 years ago, that style would have been like, oh my gosh, that's so 80s. I feel like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, everything goes in cycles.
Right. And I think it's smart that they have kind of like one for both audiences. So, you got the little more plain one, excuses are for wusses there with the blue and the red, white, and blue. And then you got the moon howler. And so I think they're hitting all their audiences,
Oh, hold on, JD. I went even further. I went into the Barstool store. Dude, you could get a hoodie and tank top with the same logo. So I think you're going tank top.
I'm going tank.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Free in the shoulder.
Oh, yeah. So the other question here, did he say wusses or wussies? Because I was thinking there was an I in there.
I thought he said wusses.
Yeah, I don't know. What is he getting trademarked? That's what I want to know.
Probably wusses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems fair. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go Spencer Lee tank top also.
Yeah, tank it up. Okay.
Tank it up.
More news. Some more conference realignment stuff is kind of coming out, and it turns out, unsurprisingly, like ESPN has some stake in the game and has been reaching out to schools in the Big 12 saying, hey, go this way, go this way. It's not perfectly clear yet, or all the details haven't come out yet, but it's just interesting to follow and see, and you have to think that it's the Big 12 telling schools to either go to the Pac-12 or ACC, since they have TV deals with
That's crazy.
schools. Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and the Big 12 is not happy. They've sent ESPN like a cease and desist, basically, because they still have these schools under contract, for however many years. And they're like, no, ESPN is trying to cause chaos right now and schools to panic and make quick decisions.
Yeah, I mean, obviously ESPN would have they have an interest in that because they get the TV deals. But I'm thinking, like, would they be could you sue them on those grounds, right? Because what if they said, well, we just want to see better conferences. We don't we don't care about the rights. We just want to see better conferences. Is that legal? I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I can't say for sure either. I don't know.
Yeah, I think what I was, because I read the cease and desist letter or whatever that it's called, and because ESPN also has an agreement with like the Big 12, I think that's where they're saying they are, coming out of line. And he actually cites, section 20.2C of the amendment. So there's like certain things that he's citing as he's writing this letter, saying, hey, you're breaking the agreement that we have in order to take advantage and set yourself up for a future agreement.
Yeah. Well, let's go sue ESPN. Do it, Big 12. I don't think the Big 12 stands a chance, though. After you guys were talking about it, I looked a little bit into it. It sounds like they're gonna be done.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's too bad for fans of schools in the Big 12 that have been with the Big 12 for a long time, But
is anyone really a fan of the specific conference? I mean, like, say I was in the Big 12, and I thought it was cool while I was there. But
outside of SEC football, no, nobody really cares about conference.
And yeah, if I'm a fan, of the team, and the team goes somewhere else, I'm just gonna follow. I watched Mizzou wrestling when they were in the MAC. I mean, it would have been nice watching them wrestle Oklahoma State or Oklahoma a few more times, but generally they still did. And I got to see them at all the big tournaments, and I got to see them at the NCAA tournament. So, like, it didn't really have any effect on my life, I don't think.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, and most people would too. But like I said, except SEC football, it's a little different. The SEC considers themselves like holier than thou, like their own little kind of separate thing. But besides that, I think that's pretty much the feeling of most people. All right, should we get into Olympic talk?
Yeah, I can't believe the Olympics starts in or for wrestling, starts in 2 days.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, I figure just start at 57 and work our way up. Kozak, I'll kind of let you're the international man of mystery. If you want to kind of talk about maybe some of the top contenders and maybe a dark horse or two who to keep an eye on, stuff like that.
Yeah. So pretty much over the last month or two, I've been diving deep into, every field and doing a whole lot of research and trying to get previews that go as in-depth as we can for everybody. And so the previews are up on the site, and then I did some Olympian rankings based on head-to-head performances, and so we'll be referencing some of those. But obviously, 57 kilograms, Russia's Zauraguev, he's the two-time defending world champ, and then he'll be challenged by Suleiman Atli, who's a world silver medalist from 2019, Ravi Kumar, who's a bronze medalist at the Worlds, Yuki Takahashi, Nuraslam Sanaya from Kazakhstan, and then there's a new guy who's younger, Abdullayev from Uzbekistan, who I really like. So yeah, we can talk about predictions.
How do you say Abdullayev's first name, Kozak?
Gulamjan or Gulamjan?
Gulamjan.
I've heard it both ways. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy looking at your rankings that Micic is the number 1 seed in the Olympics, yet he is ranked number 12 on your rankings.
Yeah, and these are head to head. So, it's based off of who they've lost to, who they've beaten. So, Gilman is all the way down at number 10 because he has 2 past head-to-head losses to Vangelov from Bulgaria. Gilman does have wins over number 2, Otley, and number 7, Atri. But he's also got losses to Sanayev, Vangelov as well.
Yeah, man. So it's tough because the seeding obviously we were complaining because sometimes most notably when it was David Taylor and Yazdani, and I'm forgetting who the number 3 was at the time, but they were all on one side essentially, right next to each other. But the same thing can happen here because Uguev and Atley are going to be on the same side, 2 and 3. That's guaranteed already. Abdulov will be drawn in, and he's got a 50-50 chance of being on each side. Meanwhile, on the top, Micic is the number 12. And so theoretically, he can get a couple other low-ranked guys and then, kind of have a smooth path to the semis.
Right, yeah, and that'll be, I think, something we see at every weight where it's like things could be set up really nice for Team USA guys, or they could be, like we talked about the last time I was on here, like the death brackets, where it's just like worst case scenario.
Bracket.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, made a resurgence.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that, Ben, floating around Twitter.
What?
Some account that made their profile picture the UWW logo and their name, United World Wrestling, and I forget what the Twitter handle was, but it looked legit. Just tweeted out your brackets for the 2021 Tokyo Olympics, and
people took the bait.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
people got.
They got so many people. I think even Bader said he got. But brackets are going to come out day before every weight. Day
it
before
stinks
every
that they don't come out like today would be a lot more fun to actually discuss the weight classes if we had the brackets.
Yes.
I don't really ever see the reasoning of why they don't put them out. We already know all 16 competitors. I mean, I guess in the case that someone were to miss weight, you'd have to pull that person out, but you could just put someone else back at their spot. I don't know what that disadvantage to putting them in early is.
Whoa.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And that's the way it's always been done. So they just kind of wait it out, which is unfortunate. It makes it much harder to hype it up. It's like, how could you hype up a main fight if you weren't for sure that it's going to happen?
Because we could literally be talking about matchup. I mean, at the very least, first round matchups we could be talking about right now, and then likely, because on this on your rankings, 13 through 16 are pretty soft. So we would likely be able to talk about a lot of second round matchups also, and kind of be surmising where the bracket's going to go. If we actually had the bracket, we could be doing that. And that would be a lot more fun than just saying who is the best.
Yeah.
We should just tell them to do it. We should build our own bracket.
I know. I wish that were how life was right now.
Yes.
But yeah, I've got some. I don't know if we have the clips ready to go. So I put together some clips from Gilman and Takahashi. So they've met twice. Once in the World Finals in 2017, and another at the World Cup in 2018. So it was 6 months apart. And I didn't necessarily do this to crush our hopes and dreams for Gilman, but you can see
you did.
You can see when Gilman attacks Takahashi, Takahashi he capitalized on Gilman's attacks every single time. That's how he scored in all of them. So it's 2-0, kind of right off the bat. Again, Gilman takes a left side single, reattack from Takahashi, and he scores right away. I don't think he.
You think, man? I mean, that feeling those reattacks is obviously a skill set. You think there's any chance Thomas Gilman improved that skill set since then?
Yeah, I mean, it's been almost 4 years since this.
Yeah.
And here's on our screen. If you're just listening, you can see this is the best chance Gilman gets to score. He kind of gets pretty deep. Ben, I don't know if you want to talk about kind of what happens here and what he does wrong.
No, I mean, he's doing all of the right things right now. Obviously, the Japanese guy, he's so right there, how he made the guy bail, and was actually hitting like a go behind, like that was scrambling wise, that was definitely the right thing. And then the Japanese guy's just really good, and he slips that shoulder back in and gets himself back in the game. But for a second there, it really looked like Gilman was going to score, and he did the right thing on that leg attack.
Right. So yeah, that was the first match, and here's the second. I love that single leg defense from Takahashi there.
What do you love about it? He just
grabs
in and then kicks
out, grabs the face and
it rearranges it back to the inside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I think someone is falling. Someone's texting me about the first round matchup, so I think they're falling for the bait too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody asked a question. It was in one of the Gilotti, Isaiah Brookham asked FRL questions, when do Olympic brackets come out? So you're gonna have to wait, Isaiah, until
day before. Day before. So yeah, I put those clips together because Takahashi is my pick to win gold at 57.
Really? Even though you haven't ranked number, what do you have, 5?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like Takahashi. I also like that he had to go through some adversity to make the team because they made him. He qualified the weight after Higuchi missed weight, and then they made him wrestle off Higuchi again, and he beat him. And so I kind of like that. I like some of the adversity he went through, and then and I like the way he wrestles a lot too. So I picked him as my gold pick for.
So John, who did he lose to that you ranked all the way down there at 5? I mean, I know he lost to Ugaev, right? But who else?
Yeah. Let me look here at my own article.
Your own website. Okay, I'm gonna go to your website so I can.
Yeah, that website's kind of getting out of date. I haven't updated it in a while. So he's lost to Ravi Kumar twice, and he's lost to Aguev and Erdinabat. So he's got some losses, but the Erdinabat losses from 2015, Aguev's from 2018, Kumar's 2019.
Ooh. He got whooped by Kumar at the 20 Asian Championships.
Yeah, he did, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, I still like him.
Oh, so he better hope he's not on Ravi Kumar's side because he lost 6-1 and 14-5 to Ravi Kumar.
I know.
Stylistically, it doesn't work for him.
Yeah, well, he's either going to be on Kumar's or Aguev's side, so he's actually going to have a tough draw because Aguev's a 2 and Kumar's the 4 seed.
Yes, 4. So yeah,
that's the case.
All right,
to pick him.
I'm gonna pick Ugaev. I think he's the favorite, obviously. He was so good last, I guess 2019. He was so good. I don't really see a reason not to pick him. So I'm going Ugaev.
I am as well, but I do have Takahashi making the finals.
How can you do that when you don't know what side he's on?
Well, just theoretically, like that would be my finals pick because I think, he's probably the second best guy in the bracket.
So okay. I figured we'd pick Aguev at some point. So I got a clip of him losing here for us to.
There we go.
To watch. So this is
what year is this?
I believe this is 2018. He lost to Edashirashvili at the 2018 Euro Championships. He's lost in 2018 and 2019, both to Azerbaijan guys. So he gets a takedown there. He's up 3-0, and he's controlled this kind of whole match. And our next clip kind of shows right down 15 seconds. He's in the over-under position here. And he's just kind of hanging out. And then, whoop.
That actually worked.
Big, yeah,
oh
and gosh. That's what
YOLO lat drop.
YOLO lat drop. So here's
that was impressive because he really had his butt back, no pressure in, and somehow it still worked.
Right. And so he's done that where he's lost twice, both at Euros. So I don't know. That's my rationale. He's lost at big tournaments before, but I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
So how do we feel? Yeah. I didn't know if we want to talk about Gilman more, or if we just want to move on.
I mean, man, it's so, like I said, without these brackets, it's almost dumb, right? Like Gilman, I think he's going to beat everyone who's lower ranked than him. And I think I would favor him in a match against Miocic, although I think it would be really close. So if he somehow gets put up in the top quarter, it could be good for him. But I think he's a big underdog against the three other seeded guys, and then Takahashi also. So, and then I don't know the Uzbekistan guy that you were mentioning. I don't really know him, so I don't want to say he's an underdog to him for sure. But so there could be some really bad places in the bracket, and there could be some good places.
Yeah.
And UWW's brackets can be so uneven, too, that the draw really does matter.
Yeah.
But I think Gillen's a pretty far shot to even medal.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but it was surprising to hear Nuseiko's like, I haven't thought about it, but when he won World Silver, that was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That's a long time in a wrestling career. He still has a shot, but especially if he's not 100% with his foot going in, which I'm assuming he's going to be close to, I think it's a long shot for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would agree.
All right.
It is crazy, though, that still in 2021 that the UWW can't find someone to hire who would properly seed the brackets.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, they want to incentivize people to wrestle at ranking series tournaments. If you just go off rankings, it would be like number one, like this guy's number one, and he doesn't have to wrestle.
Yeah, I get it, but you could also tell the rankers, like, hey, favor these tournaments more heavily, and then they would know, right? The athletes would know that these tournaments are being favored more heavily. There's some stupid high school tournaments that say, like, this tournament, how you did last year at this tournament, is the number one seeding criteria. When it's like, well, state is the number two seeding criteria. It's totally ridiculous. So you could definitely do that, but I think it's just obviously that would then open up to bribery and other things, which would not be so good. But the fact that we still can't get it done in 2021 or create some type of bot or something that can just do it for us based on those type of things. Create at least a number 1 through 8. That way all those good guys are separated and we have a semblance of a fair and balanced bracket.
Yeah, and, a lot of the top guys still don't even care.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah, like Sage Live, he doesn't wrestle a ranking series. The
that
top
would be an
Russians.
easy one where, like, for him. Okay, so one of the reasons he doesn't care is because he is at this point that much better than everybody else, and so it would also be really easy to put him number 1, and no one's really going to argue all that much with you. Like, if you put Sage Live number 1, who's going to argue?
Nobody.
Yeah,
because he is number 1.
Because he is. So I think it would be like, I think in cases like that, it would work itself out most of the time.
Yeah.
I wish. I can wish. I know.
And like Ugliev doesn't care. He's the number 2 seed, even though he's reigning world champ.
Yeah. Jeez.
So
I guess we'd all probably also have better seeds if there was actually a 2020 World Championships. Our seeds would probably be more, more accurate.
Yeah, maybe. It definitely does incentivize guys like 3 through 12 though to wrestle.
Yeah. I mean, that's how Miocic got the number 1 seed. Is he went to Poland, knowing, hey, I can get the number 1 seed here if I perform, and then a lot of the guys that were in the bracket, so Abdullayev, Sanayev, Atri, Kumar, they all went 61. So they didn't get any seeding criteria at Poland for the Olympics, and that's where Abdullayev beat all those guys. And then Ugliev didn't go to Poland, so that's how Miocic got the 1 and went above everybody else. But we want to do 65 now?
Sure.
Right.
65.
So 65 is a really fun weight. There's 3 past.
Well, Ben, who would you pick to make the finals opposite Ugliev? You said Ugliev's your hypothetical finalist.
Someone's not on his side. I Ravi's really good, but I kind of think Ravi. I'm more impressed by him than Otley. So I'll go Ravi Kumar, and they are going to be on opposite sides for sure. So that helps.
Okay. Yeah, I like Ravi a lot. Yeah, he's really good. Another guy who might be a dark horse, maybe like Hartunyan from Armenia at 57.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming on strong the last whatever year. He looks really good too.
Nice.
All right, 65. I started to say 3 past world champs here. Aliyev.
Hey, I'm sorry. Can I ask one last question? Kozak,
Yeah.
I'm on your website scrolling through here. So Otley's been pretty good, including a silver at the World Championships. But then I
Right.
clicked on his profile. He just got tuned up by some other Turkish dude. What's up with that?
Oh, I think that was up at 65. He was wrestling.
Oh, he went up?
Yeah, he was up. He was wrestling up after
Dang.
after COVID. You know, he gained the 20 pounds and
The quarantine
Okay.
15.
quarantine. Yeah. Yeah, so he wrestled up at
Jeez.
65, I think, in like October or November of 2020, and then kind of worked
Wow.
his way down. So
Got it.
yeah,
Okay.
shaking the rust off.
Got it.
But
All right, 65.
yeah,
Sorry.
forgot about that. No, 65. You can interrupt me again anytime you want. You know,
I
65.
got so many questions.
I know. So Haji Aliyev, he's won 3 world championships. They were all at a lower weight. And then Odaguru, he won in 18.
Yes.
And then Rashidov, 2019 world champ. So this is a really deep weight.
And
And
then I
then
think this is the most fun weight too. I mean, like
Yeah.
Aliyev is a joy to watch. Odaguru is so fun. Punya's fun to watch. Musakayev, he's like a tornado. He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, this weight is like really fun. There's a lot of guys who just like you're
Mhm.
going to enjoy seeing them mix it up.
Yeah, and then Tavanyan from Armenia, he's younger. He was in Junior Worlds 2019. He took 5th, but he had a great World Cup in December, and then he kind of followed that up at the Olympic qualifier, and he beat Gadzhiev, who was the guy who beat Jo,
Jordan.
and then he beat Tavanyan beat Aliyev in the finals. And so I actually
wow.
have that clip of him beating Aliyev if we want to cue that up here. And so this match is actually really similar. Tavanyan also beat Musakayev at the World Cup.
Dang.
Yeah, this match is really similar to that Musakayev match where it was like 1-0 close match, and then he got on top and he just got his turns going. So he's real dangerous.
Look at him going.
So this is against Aliyev at the the Euro Olympic qualifier. So he gets a takedown and then gets 2 guts, and then with whatever 50 seconds left in the match, he gets in on another shot and gets another takedown against Aliyev. So this is Space, like one of his favorite wrestlers
Wow.
at the
Love to watch
Olympics.
some more of him.
Yeah, so Tavanyan's really good. He's younger. I think he's only like 22, 23 maybe.
Because
at
he
the
just
oldest.
beat up Aliyev, and Aliyev is always, I feel like, is always competitive with Rashidov.
So yeah, Tavanyan. So he has lost to Odaguru, but it was like 2 or 3 years ago. And I think he's got maybe 1 or 2 other losses to this Olympic field. But being so young, and then now showing what he has over the last 6 to 8 months, he looks really good. So Tavanyan is one of my picks to make the finals, but I ultimately picked Rashidov as my champ. I just like the way he's wrestled over the last 2 years.
He's comparable to Yugoyev, in my opinion, both stylistically and record-wise, and maybe not as much as a favorite over the field because this field is deeper, in my opinion. But in terms of like how much better he is than number 2, I think it's about similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who I'm gonna go. We don't have an American in this field, unfortunately. But Bajrang Punya, we're gonna adopt him. He's going to be kind of American for this, for my purposes.
He trains here a lot.
He trains here a lot. He's been, and he is.
We gave him a big check one time.
There you go. He's opposite of Rashidov and Musakayev, and his semifinal, if the seeds hold, which they likely won't, would be Niazbekov, who I think he beats relatively easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just beat Niazbekov last month, 9-0, at the Aliyev.
Yep. So, where's that?
The nightmare matchup for Bajrang is Odaguru. He's never beaten him, and
that match was so.
Bajrang would have I think, cautioned Odaguru out because he had 2 cautions like right at the end. But I do have, I kind of with the first 2 weights, I put together a clip of maybe like not their brightest moments, and this was like.
So if you're looking for a reason not to pick the Russian at these weights.
Here it is. So this was first round 2019 Worlds. This is the last kind of minute of the match. Where Rashidov and Aliyev hit in the first round, and the ending is just wild. And this is where
Dixie there.
Mm-hmm. So Rashidov scores with 40 seconds to go, and then Aliyev has to respond and score. And this is where we were like crying, corruption, which it very well could have been, with how the points were scored at the end.
As he goes into the shell and turns into
so pissed.
Yeah, so here we go.
Wait, that's an American ref though, right? On the mat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Correct?
I didn't
I'm
see.
pretty sure it is.
So yeah, this sequence here of how close Aliyev was to scoring.
Dang, that's crazy how he got his. Can we rewind this? Can you rewind real quick? Hold on. How he gets his leg back off that first attack is so impressive.
The limp leg?
Aliyev gets in so tight, but it's not even like a traditional limp leg. It's more of like I don't know. Just watch it again. It's so impressive.
Yeah, here.
The high knee limp leg.
Yeah.
And then for Aliyev not to give up a score.
Yep. Boom.
And then he just barely gets to the ankle here.
He kind of tried it again.
Oh.
But Aliyev was able to hold on.
I actually see the argument on this one. I forgot that was the ending. So they're saying that essentially Rashidov went Peterson, right? He goes belly hand. I don't know if we can play it in slow motion if that's possible for us, but he goes belly hand and he turns into it, and it gets Aliyev off to the side. I can see their argument. I really could. And most people were going nuts, but I could definitely. Let's go slow motion at like 5 seconds. Can we go do that?
There it is.
Well, we got slow. Okay, so we were right there. Hold on, we're going there. Sorry if this is bad radio for anyone listening.
Yeah, we'll watch it on the website.
We'll get there. We got some high quality slow motion going on here.
Mm-hmm.
So the seconds are ticking by so slowly in slow motion. Okay, I promised that we were going to get there at some point. Okay, so he almost gets him there because the knee was, you could argue the knee was down. Okay, so now as Aliyev puts, so Rashidov's grabbing the left hand wrist right here, and he's going to do a hard plant and a hard turn into a Peterson. And so I think the argument is that Aliyev's head hit out when he did that, much like a whizzer kick, right? If I whizzer kick you and you're on my leg and your head hits out, then you're out, and you have not yet secured the takedown. That is the argument that they're making here, and I actually kind of agree with it.
Right.
Boom. See how hard he goes
definitely
in that
does that, but it's also was that initiated because of Aliyev? Like, did you initiate because of
I would say there's no
initiation?
way. There's no way Aliyev wanted to go that direction, right? Aliyev would have wanted to go towards that trap arm, and where his feet were, it would have been impossible for him to take the action to the other side.
Yeah.
So I actually agreed with the Rashidov call.
To counter, and I kind of agree with him, just kind of playing devil's advocate. When you shoot, say, like a single or double leg, and your opponent lat whips you over, it's kind of similar to but a lot of times if you still kind of go to your back, they'll give the other guy 4, and then maybe the guy who countered 2.
But think about it more like on a like a failed front head pin. So you should have single leg. I dump, but you post and I don't get you over. Like usually they'll go no call on that. They'll kind of go 0-0 and they'll let wrestling resume. So I would say it's more like that because Aliyev does nothing at that point to hold him on his back, and there's definitely no control also. And so then also the action should be stopped when the head hits out, right? When the head touches, then the action is over. So I'm going 1 point Rashidov.
Yeah, and I think the problem for us is like viewing it through the folk style lens of, well, Rashidov. How can Rashidov get points for that? He doesn't have control. He lands almost on his back, almost in danger. But to your point, he initiates this motion. He initiates the Peterson. So it's like he gets the technique of the counter, and then ultimately gets Aliyev to land out of bounds. So he's awarded for that. He's awarded for that technique and where it happened on the edge of the mat. But it was certainly the perfect storm with it happening right at the end, with the match imbalance, and with it being Russia and Aliyev and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, so can we go back like a half a second and pause it there? Like, just based on where, a little more forward, a little more. Based on where Aliyev's feet are. There's no way he's going the other way. There's no way he's going that way, right? Left. He's only going to go either forward or potentially forward and then to the side, to the right side. So I think that Peterson, that's an obvious shift in direction right there.
Yeah.
Boom. Wow.
Yeah, and actually, so
fun, slow motion.
I love it. So this is this is partially why I like Rashidov, is stuff like this, whereas like he finds a way, to get it done. And obviously he won world championships, but he had a lot of close matches, and he had to beat Aliyev, Musakayev, and Odaguru all just to get to the finals in 2019 in World. So he had just a crazy draw. I don't know if enough is talked about how hard of a bracket he had to win there, and he did it. So that's why I like him.
He had a 11-0 nice Bekov in the finals, though.
Yeah,
it's almost like they put all the hard guys on one side.
And in Kazakhstan too.
That reminds me of, was it Euros or Russian Nationals? Yugoyev, I don't even remember who he's wrestling, but he had to go get a 4 like super late, and did.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Blanking. It was probably Russian Nationals, or maybe he got forward and then right away came back.
Agree. Yeah, Russian Nationals. Yep.
And then right away came back and got a 4 of his own.
The finals.
Yeah. It's just it shows Rashidov isn't obviously hitting those Petersons frequently. That's not his go-to, but it's like he has that randomly when he needs to pull it out and win, finding a way.
Yeah,
kind of like you were saying.
100%.
Yeah,
man. This is going to be, and also the fact that we have no American that we have to be anxious about. This is going to be just a fun bracket to watch. There's a lot of really good matches, and I'm sure someone really good is going to get matched up in the first round just because the draws are stupid. I'm going to watch some more of. I picked Punya. I'm going to watch some more of some Tavanian. I haven't watched too much of him. Tavanian, because that way he'll. And the fact that he beat Aliyev 9-0 and the fact that he gutted him twice, that's impressive.
Yep.
Aliyev isn't quite as effective at 65 as he is at 61. That's where I believe 61 is where he's won all of his world titles and medals. I guess in 2020 at 65 he got bronze.
Hasn't he always been really close with Rashidov? So obviously we watched the one match.
Yes,
and that was really
and in 2019 he lost to Rashidov there, and then Odaguru in the bronze match. Yeah, I believe so. He's there, but he just doesn't quite have that same thing to get it done at 65 as he did at 61.
Yeah, so Aliyev...
And for the record, he won his Olympic medal at 57.
Right. And so if you haven't looked at the previews yet, I spent a lot of time going through all the matchups head-to-head. So I probably have 95 to 99% of every time any guy in the Olympic field has hit head-to-head, and then with video links where there are. So I did a lot of homework for you guys to get ready for this. But Aliyev is 4-8 against the Olympic field. So he hasn't had that much success. And so he's a guy where if he does have Rashidov first round or second round, I think he can knock him off. But I don't think Aliyev's going to make that run all the way to the finals. Maybe a bronze, but I don't see him winning it. I don't see him putting it all together. He's got losses over Bajrang or against Bajrang, Odaguru, Rashidov, even Valdez from Cuba, and then also Gadzhiev. So he's lost to a whole bunch of different guys in this bracket in the past. So that's kind of why I don't think that highly of him right now.
Yeah.
Do it.
Cool. I'll go Punya, and then I'm going to watch some more of Tavanyan.
Okay. Yeah, I went Rashidov, then Tavanyan.
I went Odaguru.
Yeah, I like that. I like that pick too.
I went Russia over Japan in the finals
for
both 57 and 65.
Okay. All right. So 74.
I'm guessing we're probably all picking the same final.
Yeah, Dake Sidakov. That's the match, I think.
That's the match of the tournament.
Yeah, match of the tournament.
So no one's picking Chamizo for the upset?
It's possible. I think Chamizo-Sidakov will be a good match, but I'm not going to pick it.
So
there's a chance.
Yeah.
I give Chamizo I'll say 30% chance, 25% chance, something in that range, between 20 and 30%. 20 is on the low end.
So which side do you think Kyle Dake will end up on?
Well,
it's just a coin flip.
I would rather him be on Sidakov's side.
Really?
I'd rather him have Chamizo in the finals. I don't know.
That's interesting. I mean,
I want him to wrestle Sidakov, and I want him to win.
I'm just saying,
matchup
wise,
he's going to have to go through both of them.
Yeah,
right?
he's going to have to go through both of them.
Semis and finals, either way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm talking about maybe for the match to watch, premiere. I get you finals, but I would rather him catch Sidakov early than catch him in the final. Than catch Chamizo early. Oh. You know what I mean? I would rather him catch Chamizo later.
Oh, so you're saying even? So I guess I was just thinking semis and then finals. So you're thinking even. So obviously they could be a matchup first round because Kyle Dake is not seeded at all. So that's a potential. So why you think Sidakov's a slow starter or what?
I think. Well, I would put it more in. I don't think Chamizo's in as good a shape as Sidakov.
Okay.
And so I think it matters more if Chamizo has some tough matches leading up to the finals.
Yes.
And Dake's going to be fine whether he gets first round or in the finals. His conditioning, but as it compares to Chamizo, I could see him not being as peak second day. But I don't know if it matters that much.
Yeah.
But I did get some clips of Sidakov and Chamizo. They've wrestled twice. Once was this is 2019, I believe, World Finals. So these are all the times they've scored in their two matchups. Here you see Chamizo gets to single leg. I don't know if it was an outside step or not, but here's how he finishes against Sidakov.
Some people are so good in that quad position.
And then here's Sidakov.
That throw by.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was so nice.
And note he scores so quick on Chamizo there.
You have to.
He doesn't have a chance to even counter. So yeah, I believe this is the finals, and then the next one would be. So here's 20 seconds left. Chamizo's got to score, but Sidakov takes the shot, and they actually end up giving him 2 here for it. Not that it matters, but it's a super close.
He's not really trying to go anywhere there.
Mm-hmm.
He's just hanging out as low as possible.
They give him 2 right there.
I can see it.
5 seconds to go. Mm-hmm. So yeah, then Sidakov wins. 5-2. So that's the 2019 World Finals.
Nice.
And then the next match is, I think it's the semis or the quarters of 2018. So this is right after Sidakov beat Burroughs. Now he's got Chamizo. And so it's really like, that was right at the end of the first period. So they didn't score that, but Chamizo almost got the takedown right at the end of the first. That's a really similar.
I'm assuming those are both shot clocks or those push-outs? By shot clocks at this point.
Both shot clocks. Yep.
So they both have a hard time. Dang, Chamizo gave that one up kind of easy, huh?
So that's with 50 seconds left in the match.
Wow. Double under, so kind of a throw-by-ish. Ooh. Sidakov has great hips.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought, I don't know, Ben, what you think about, Chamizo, Sidakov matchup, or even just Chamizo in general, but I thought after looking at, kind of both of those, matches, like it's in the balance, and Chamizo's right there. I don't know what your thoughts are.
I think absolutely. I think Chamizo could beat Sidakov, and Sidakov is probably more likely, but definitely possible that they both win. I think both are really tough matchups for Kyle Dake, but this is one where it's maybe not as deep. Like, I have a very hard time seeing those guys below the top three beating. I think Chamizo is more upsettable. I don't know if that's a word. Than Dake or Sidakov, but I have a really hard time seeing someone below the top three beat those guys at the Olympics.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Upsettable.
Yeah, for sure. One of the guys maybe that we're overlooking a little bit, Kenchadze from Georgia. He lost to Chamizo 4-4, and he's got a 2-2 loss to Sidakov as well. So he's had criteria losses to both those guys, so he could be, a guy to watch. But I agree with you. It's like, who's going to pick anybody but those top three?
Yeah, especially when, the wrestling skill of it is the one part, and then how about the pressure of it being the Olympics, and all of those other guys have proved that they can win at the highest of levels. When the pressure's on the most, they've all done it at some point in their career. So Kenchadze hasn't proven that point yet.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I picked Dake over Sidakov here.
I'm going with Dake over Chamizo because of the coin flip.
Okay. What do you got, JD?
I'm going Dake over Sidakov.
And let's remind everybody what Andrew Spey did. He picked Sidakov.
Yes, he did.
Over Dake. So if it happens, it's his fault. Spey's fault.
I can't believe
want to remind people,
fire him.
Kyle Dake hasn't lost since 2018.
Yeah.
Since January of 2018.
Who do you lose to it then?
Ahmed Gadzhimagomedov.
Yes.
In the Urigan finals, and since 14, he only has one more international loss. Obviously, he lost, to Burroughs a couple times, Jaden twice in the Olympic finals. But basically, those are his two blemishes on his international record. He had a couple, I think, in 2013, like right after graduating. But after that, 2014 on, those two are it. Like Kyle Dake is good. Good.
Yeah, it's not just like that he's winning. It's the way he's winning, how dominant he is in that,
he blanked the field in 2018 at 2018 Worlds.
Yeah. So he's won 48 in a row, and in those 48 matches, he has 29 techs, which is pretty crazy. And then he's also got, I think, like 30 shutouts in there as well. So
I'll say you probably don't have this data, but it'd be interesting to see how many takedowns he's given up in that amount of time. Yeah. Like you said, he has a lot of shutouts, but his non-shutouts are 1 or 2 points. Mm-hmm. Basically, a lot of them are shot clock or step out.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah, it's not
Mm-hmm.
not many. Yeah.
And so that's what it was for me. Why I picked Dake over Sidakov is I don't see Sidakov taking takedown. Maybe he has a very good outside step, and I could see him getting to that and possibly getting a step out, running Dake out of bounds. But I do
Yeah.
not see him finishing
Yeah.
that against Dake.
Yeah, even in the Chamizo match, was it it wasn't a takedown, was it an exposure off of the
Yes, I believe so. Now Chamizo
Something
was
like
in and very close right at the end, but time
Mhm.
did run out.
Yeah.
Fair. All right, 86.
86. Let's keep moving.
It's getting easier.
Yeah. This one, it's kind of another two-horse race, probably, but
Mhm.
a one clear favorite, in my opinion, and David Taylor, who that will be my pick. Taylor over Yazdani, although Yazdani is the one seed and Taylor's going to get randomly drawn in.
Taylor's not seated. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, and so I
So dumb.
Knifenoff is the clear. He's like the clear next guy, and then there's probably 5 or 6 others who are going to challenge for bronze. But here's a clip of Yazdani Knifenoff, and just to kind of show you the difference in the field. This is from 2019 Worlds. So Yazdani kind of runs Knifenoff out right away, and then he kind of does the same thing. Let's see, he gets to a single leg.
He's trying to Rashidov out there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of get. It's one of the things I think we see a lot with Yazdani is he puts such pressure on guys, and they get out of bounds, and they try to stay. They try to do something to stay in, and that's when they do something stupid. And here,
It's so crazy how Yazdani does gas other people out, but then David gasses him out.
mm-hmm.
It's wild.
Yeah. So this is an interesting position here.
Oh, get that limp leg. Two Knifenoff. Oh, but then two Yazdani. Oh, is he gonna deck him?
Yep, and then he pins him.
Oh, he decks him.
Yeah, and then, so
That's
that's
actually
just,
a really dumb move by Yazdani. He stepped over that wizard without getting the leg in. Oh my gosh. The only kid
Yeah.
in my academy about that.
Yeah, don't show him that.
Don't show him that for sure.
Yeah, and I think you guys watched Taylor Knifenoff before, but one of my favorite matches is the Taylor Yazdani match from 2018 Worlds. That opening round, and so I put together all the scoring sequences here.
Oh wow!
So that's the first step out. So Yazdani actually got points for that. Taylor was really close to kind of cartwheeling out of that,
Yes.
scoring himself. That's just 20 seconds in to the match.
So much pressure by Yazdani. You see the pressure. Oh,
Have you ever seen
headlock.
Taylor try to throw a headlock before?
Ever, never, ever. I mean,
Yeah.
who pushes David Taylor around? Nobody.
Mm-mm. So that's just
His
whatever.
pressure is just so heavy.
30 seconds in, and then this is a great little scramble here. Yazdani's really close to scoring. No twos awarded yet because Taylor has that
His arm.
left arm draped over.
Oh, he gets himself back. Oh, nice. This
Yeah.
match was so much fun.
This is just a minute in. And that shows you why Yazdani, I think, gets so tired towards the end because he's working so hard a minute, 20 seconds
absolutely.
into the match.
Yeah, they wrestle at such a high pace.
Mm-hmm.
That was that. Yeah, that's. I mean, you mentioned the headlock, but that right there, that's kind of uncharacteristic of David
Chest
Taylor.
wrap.
Also, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and just, I mean, it wasn't even really a great chest wrap. It was just, I'm gonna try something on the edge,
Yep.
type of thing.
So yeah, he's up 5-2 right at the end of the period, and he gets to this single leg to the quad pod, and he only scores 1. So then it's 6-2 at the break.
Yes. Yep.
I
I saw John Brown in the background.
think I missed that takedown there. It's poor editing skills. Sorry.
Jeez.
Guys. So it's 6-4 still with.
He's so tired. He's so tired.
Yeah, he's so
He should
tired
be
with 2
calling
minutes
injury
left.
time. Whirly bird him.
Mm-hmm.
Was David ends up winning this one 10-5 or 10-6 or something?
Yeah, I think the final score
Ooh, did he get a push out there or
is
no?
11-6. No, they don't award the step out there, which it probably should
That's
have.
one they probably could have for sure.
Yep, and then David gets the takedown to go ahead on criteria.
I'm surprised they didn't brick that one because that would have been the brick would have been. They had a chance of getting the 1 point, and they would have got a nice lunger there on the timeout. They should have bricked. That was a dereliction of duty by the Iranian coach. Oh yeah, now it's over.
I think there's one more decent little scramble that was kind of like what ultimately broke Yazdani's will.
He's kind of, I don't want to say he's broken now, but he's not.
Dead man walking, right?
Yeah, a little bit. He ain't going full steam ahead at this point.
So it'll be interesting to see if Yazdani has made adjustments and can withstand the gas tank.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if so they've had 2 matchups to this point, and both ones, and this is his style, but he comes out so strong. It'll be
Yazdani was up like 9-0 the first time they wrestled before he broke even harder. But
fell over.
That was also his first time wrestling up at 86 from 74, where he was previously.
It'll be interesting to see if he adopts a different strategy. Maybe he says, okay, I can never keep the gas tank for 6 minutes against David Taylor. Maybe I, slow it down, try his whole position for the first, 2.5 minutes, and then I go, turn it up. It'd be, for someone who's failed twice, it's not a bad option.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what Gabe Dean's kind of strategy was, hey, let's turn this into a hand fight for the first period.
Yep.
Kind of with not go into those scramble positions because that's where David's the best.
And he's just so fluid in there, and you're gonna get if you're in those you're gonna get so exhausted in those scramble positions. For David.
Yeah, and so I think more than the Dake Sidikoff matchup, I think the Taylor Yazdani matchup is like scary to me as an American fan, just because you see what Yazdani can do when he is like peak and has a full gas tank.
The potential is there.
The potential is certainly there. If the match strategy is just a little different, but I'm still gonna pick Taylor.
I'm going Taylor. I'm gonna go Taylor over Knifenoff because Taylor and Yazdani end up on the same side.
Yeah.
I mean, that was first round at Worlds 2018, so
it's possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then we got Amin and Punya as the 3 and the 2 seed on the opposite side. So if Amin
could make the finals, for sure.
Wait, so Yazdani and Knifenoff are the same side. So if Taylor gets drawn in, it's that side.
But I am sticking with Taylor over Yazdani.
Sorry, Jay, is McCullough any good? Because he used to be pretty good, right? Is he not good anymore?
Yeah, he's similar, maybe not as good as Aliyev, but kind of like a similar
trajectory.
Yeah, like where he's had really good results in the past, but lately he hasn't been as good. And but he did look all right qualifying at the Euro qualifier or last qualifier. So he's got like decent wins, but then he's also got the losses. So he's beaten Reichmuth a couple times, who I don't really think that highly of, and then he's beaten Ambrosio, which again I don't think. But yeah, Makoev, he's got losses to so many guys in the field, where he's lost to Amin, he's lost to Knifenoff, lost to Gosin, Shapiev. I could just kind of go down the list. So yeah, his 2017 Worlds was kind of like maybe an anomaly a little bit.
Okay, fair enough.
I do want it noted that Spey, the American hater, picked Yazdani over Taylor.
What is Spey just? He's trolling.
That is very possible.
Yeah,
he's trolling.
He loves to troll, but I don't know. It is scary for me because, like, you know, I think about historically, like, so I'm rolling with, you know, Dake and Taylor and Stevenson, and I'm giving Snyder a shot, but I'm like, there is no way America wins 4 gold medals, and even 3 is like,
Let's go.
No, yeah, I want it to happen, but like I picked that, and then I'm like, one of these isn't gonna hit because there's just no way that America wins 3 gold medals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be, you know, pretty historic. Maybe dating back to, I don't know, 92,
96
96 maybe.
92, we definitely won 3.
Yeah.
I'll look for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I think we forget sometimes how tough the Olympics is, and like we get so high on, you know, American guys.
And how much stuff can go wrong.
And because it's one match.
Because best guy doesn't always necessarily win.
Yeah, 96 was Kendall Cross, Tom Brands, and Kurt Angle, gold medalists.
Nice. There were 10 weight classes there, though, so it was only 30%, so we would only need 1.8 to match that.
Yeah, that's some good math.
Boom.
All right, 97, Sedgelayev, Snyder, Mohammedian.
This one's fun.
Yeah.
This one's fun. So what do we think about Mohammedian? Because I was like, holy crap, when he killed Bo and Kyle on the same day, I was like, oh my God, who's this dude? But he likely has cycled off at this point, so we have a little bit less to worry about. And he didn't look great in his last tournament.
Yeah, I think he bounces back. I think he does look good at the Olympics, but he makes me nervous. But I'm still rolling with Captain America. I think the best version of Kyle shows up and makes the finals. But I'm picking number 1 pound for pound, Abdul-Rashid Sedgelayev. That I think Mohammedian does come back for bronze, though. I think he's the second or third best guy in the field.
Yeah.
I'm going Kyle Snyder over Sedgelayev in the finals.
There you go.
So
it's very possible. I think I'm giving Kyle much more of a shot than other people. Like, I think some people have just written him off because he got pinned last time they wrestled. But I'm like, remember the one time they wrestled and he didn't get pinned? Yeah. He gassed him out and won. That could very well happen again.
Yeah.
The two have only wrestled 2 times and they've split.
Yeah, I think, JD, a decent portion of it is because of the Mohammedian match, at least. I mean, that one was like, oh, what happened there?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I still picked I actually picked Sedgelayev over Mohammedian here, which I'm certainly fine with being wrong. But yeah, I don't know what to think of Mohammedian. I think, Ben, that's kind of your point, is like at first
I hope he's on Sedgelayev's side.
Yeah, I hope he's on Sedgelayev's side.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, but yeah, at first was like, who is this guy? This, he looks like a world beater, and then he's had close matches. He's even taken losses to guys. So now I think the template is out there and how to beat him. It's kind of to withstand his first minute pace, maybe similar to Yazdani.
Yes. Yes.
But and then you kind of chip away at him. But maybe like some of the other weights with a heavy favorite with Russia's heavy favorites, I put together some clips of Sedgelayev getting scored on from the 2020 Euros. And one of these, he's really close to getting pinned. So here's his first match. This is actually to Nurov. He's in the field. He's 2019 world bronze medalist. So he goes, I think that's yeah. He gets a little 2 there on the throw. That's correct. Correct throw is still a thing, and that was 2 points.
Correct throw is such a dumb thing. It should not still be a thing.
Yeah.
You know what the other change I want to make now that I have a change I want to make. I'll bring it up in the show after we pick all the weight classes.
Yeah, we got to see Sedulayev here. This is like really uncharacteristic. He gets in on a leg, and then he gets crunched up. Cradle bang. You'll like this.
I don't know. That guy was dumb though. He should have went to the cradle first instead of trying to hop over.
Here,
but he should have went to it earlier already.
Is Sedulayev pinned there?
I would say no, but that should be another 2. It should be 2 and 2. So he gave up. He should be down 6-0. Why is there no points on the board?
I think he eventually does go down. Oh, so they gave him 2 and 2. Wow.
Yeah,
4-2.
4-0. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the same guy. You changed guys on me. I thought that was the same guy.
These are 3 different human beings scoring on Sedulayev.
Well, this guy looks different, but those last 2 look similar.
Yeah, they're all different. This guy is actually, I believe, is in trouble with the Dagestani law. That's Gadzhiev from Azerbaijan, but he's...
Why is he in trouble?
He was being investigated for murder. So yeah, they'll get you. They'll get you in trouble.
Yeah, that's trouble. That's trouble, Mr. Kozak.
You can't kill people. Not even in Dagestan.
Not even in Dagestan. That's good.
Yeah, things got wild, I believe, one night, and I believe he was under arrest or he's on the run. This is like a year in the making. So COVID didn't treat him well. So there's a couple guys that score on him, and then we saw at the Aliyev he didn't have the most impressive performance, and that was just 5 weeks ago. He's human. He can be beat, but I'm still gonna pick him to win.
Nice. All right, I'm picking Snyder.
All right, 125. 125. The more I've looked into this weight, it is like the story of the veterans who've won. So Taha Akul, he won in 14, 15, 16, and then Gino Petrashvili won 17, 18, 19. So the last 6 World Olympic golds are between these 2 guys, and then there's a whole crop of young challengers coming up. So Iran has Amir Zare, and then obviously U.S. has Gable Steveson. Belarus has a really good guy. His name is Janis Kramenkov.
Good luck on that one.
Yeah, and then Russia's Sergei Kozhirev. So there's this younger group of heavyweights coming up that are really, really good, and they can challenge the top 2 guys for sure. Zare beat Petrashvili in November 2019. Zare he's dominated Gwiz twice. Once he 10-0 teched him, and then just at the Poland Open he cautioned him out in the first period. So he's really
that's
good.
The one that almost worries me about Gable more than the other ones, because if you look at Gable, what he would struggle, and so the last year he beat Cassiope really bad, but you think a guy like Cassiope who's not going to take a lot of risks, who's just going to move into him and be big, that gave Gable a lot of trouble 2 years ago when they wrestled in Carver Hawkeye. Is that he obviously made some adjustments, but at the same time Cassiope is not Zare, right? Zare is significantly better. So yes. I think that's the skill set that has the potential to give Gable trouble. If someone's going to shoot on Gable he's a heavyweight and he has some of the best reattacks in the game. So anyone that's shooting underneath Gable is probably not going to go too well. And we both know Gino and Taha kind of have four heavyweights have higher attack rates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you watch, I didn't have a chance to clip any of match footage here, but Gino and Taha met just 2 months ago at Euros, and Gino was just shooting over and over and over again, and how Taha was scoring was all on reattacks. And so for me, in my mind, that's perfect for Gable against Gino. I think the matchup against Taha is a little tougher. But this is another weight. Like we talked about 65 being really deep. And obviously there's the top 2, but after the top 2 at 65 or at 125, I really like the field, and I think it could be a lot of fun. I think there could be some upsets early and a lot of really good matchups with the top 6 to 8 guys in here.
Yeah.
So we want to make our picks.
I'm going Gable. Another coin flip. We don't know what side he's going to be on. We'll say Gable over Taha.
All right. And I think, JD, I think me and you are the same.
Gable over Zara.
Gable over Zara. Yeah, we picked the young boys.
New era.
What's crazy is Gable and Zara could both end up on the same side as a Taha or Gino. I mean, Gino and Taha are opposite sides, but those guys could end up on the same side.
Yeah. I like heavyweight a lot. I think it's going to be a great weight. Sponsored by Oliver Stone, of course.
Nice. Hey, do you guys want to hear my simple rule change? It's when you think about it. So the stupidest thing in freestyle wrestling. Okay, I shouldn't say that. There's a handful of them. When the head goes out and you're in parterre, you're out. Okay. There is very little to no risk of any danger being happening. So if you're in parterre, you should be able to continue to wrestle till any like college wrestling rules till any part of your body is in bounds. Because we see in freestyle, you can already run people 27 feet off the mat and get points for that, which is infinitely more dangerous than being in the parterre position. So I'm saying parterre position. If you leave the mat, it's out, right? Like, so if there's say one guy's got a leg lace and his feet are in and the other guy's off the mat, they're out, obviously. But if any part of a body is still on the wrestling surface, then the circle, then you still wrestle. Doesn't that seem obvious?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. And
it would expand the parterre wrestling by a magnitude, right? You'd get so much more space.
Yeah, and I think maybe your point is like when their head goes out and they start to like go over in the gut, sometimes they let them continue, and other times they blow it dead and say, no, whistle, blow, whistle. But so it'd be really clear to be like, oh no, his foot was still in, and he broke 90. So that's two. I don't think we'll ever. I don't think we'll ever see it. But I like the rule.
Why not? It seems so easy.
I don't know.
Or think about this, John and JD. Like if someone is perpendicular to the edge, right? So the edge is here, and the two people are like there. Like, do you know actually what the rule is when they call them out? Like, what does that rule actually say?
Like if there's like a hand or a foot out, but the head is still in.
But say they're in a gut wrench position and they're like halfway out. Like, a good chunk of their body is out. They're laying on the line. But the head's not out, right? Because the head out is out for sure. When do they stop that?
I don't know when it's officially supposed to be stopped.
It's very unclear.
Scenario.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I think they still let it go because, like, you can lace someone on the edge like that. You see that sometimes.
Yeah, you see it where they turn and they move it so their feet go out of bounds, but they keep their head in. Yeah.
It's very unclear. So if you just made something that was super clear, then it would be much easier. So like college, high school, college out of bounds, folk style wise, is so much better than out of bounds high school rule. High school rules are very ambiguous. I don't know what the exact wording is, but it's
high school out of bounds is awful. Yeah, it needs to be abolished.
Abolished.
Well, it was step out. It's so bad. Especially in high school, but I don't know why that came up or how that came up, but okay.
Oh, because I was watching in our clips, I saw a whole bunch of times when they were, out of bounds and the head's out. It just seems like they should really, especially when the head is leading the bodies, right? And, they're faced this direction. It's so dumb for the head out to be out. It just doesn't make any sense when 94% of the body is still in, but the top of the head is out of the circle and they say out. It's like, come on, dude.
Yes. Okay. Well, it's after 9:30. Should we get to, I think we only had one or two questions before we get out of here.
Yeah, let's do questions.
All right. From Adam Rush. How large is the window of opportunity for the USA wrestlers to capture Olympic gold? Is there a high likelihood that these wrestlers run it back for 2024? I will say it is very, obviously it's on an individual case basis, but overall the window is very small.
So are we saying, are we talking about specifically the current American team, or are we just talking about like theoretically?
I was
I know it says
I was
2024.
thinking, that's why I said on an individual case-to-case basis. But on a grand scheme, the window is very small.
Yeah.
So I mean, a 4-year window is like one of you guys said, it's a very large window. When you're referencing Gilman's World Silver, not a lot of people stay on top. I think I would guess the amount of repeat Olympians. So they go from one team and they're on the team, the next team is super small. I would guess 30% or less is what I would guess. That being said, with this team, I could see Kyle Dake doing it in 2024.
Snyder.
I don't see anyone coming up to upset David Taylor. Jaden Cox could potentially upset Snyder, but if Jaden Cox doesn't do it, then it's Snyder again. Gable, we don't know if he's still going to wrestle.
Yeah.
If he does, he's probably the favorite by a long ways. Gilman, I would say, is not going to be the favorite by 2024. And then 65, we don't have an Olympian. But if you want to say Jordan Oliver, then I would say someone else is the favorite by 2024.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I think another thing to think about, which is going to be interesting and maybe a different topic, but like for the women's team, just because I feel like obviously we've heard, women's wrestling is growing, and the team at Cadet Worlds that just won, it'd be interesting to see, how good they get, how fast they get, or how
Kylie Walker made the Olympic team trials finals and competed in Fargo a couple months later.
I know, and
for reference,
and it's like, I mean, even like a girl like Jasmine Robinson, if you haven't seen her, who just won Fargo,
she was smashing
16 and juniors, like she is really, really good. And then obviously Kennedy Blades, and so it's like that'll be a whole nother topic to look at, like how young maybe some of these girls are when they make the team in 2024, 2028, which obviously we can talk about later. But I think that's another thing to think about.
But I actually feel like the women's team is kind of filled with trailblazers at this point, but they're kind of on the older end. So I look, Sarah's 27, Tamira's 28, Adeline is 30, and Helen's 29. So that's like in wrestling age, and I don't think the gender even is relevant here, but that's definitely older. And so now we're talking add another 3, so it's not usually before, but add another 3 years. That's definitely older.
So Nomad wrote an article a year or so ago talking about the average age of world teams versus out of college, and it kind of peaks up until 4 years out of college and then takes a pretty hard decline. So 4 years out of college, that's like 26, 27. That range is kind of like your wrestling athleticism peak, probably. That's an Olympic cycle, like, 6, 7, 8 years out of college, pushing 30. You're definitely kind of on the older end and are in the a very low percentile for making an Olympic team.
Yeah. I mean, even if you just look at the last Olympic team, who's the only one? Is just Snyder, right? He's the only repeat
and
Olympian.
When he won, he was the youngest Olympic champion in USA wrestling history. So
yeah. And then I mean, obviously you have the women's side where you have Helen and Adeline, but just them.
Yeah. That's it.
So the answer,
and I don't know about Fargo, but I don't know the historical data on Fargo, but it feels as though there were so many more women. There's so many more women now than there were, say, 2 years ago.
Yes, that is correct. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I don't remember the exact numbers, but yes, this was the highest entered women's Fargo of all time, and it's up. It was up a crazy high percent from 5 and even 3 years ago. So
nice.
It needs to go up.
So Jakar is also 28. Kayla's the baby at 25 on the team. So I would venture to guess it's going to be hard to see too many repeats for the 2024 team.
Even on a short
the
Olympic
women's
cycle.
team's good, man. I could see the women's team winning for sure. And I know you guys talk about how good Japan is, but I feel like this team is really, really good.
It's good. I want to keep Americans' expectations.
I'm going all in on America.
Level.
Forget you guys. I just picked 4 men's freestyle Olympic gold medalists.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's a good note to end on, since next time we do this show, we will be rooting on Team America in Tokyo. It'll be a weird schedule next week with the Olympics going on. The second session of each kind of weight or whatever should be ending up kind of about when we would normally start. So it could go over some days. It'll be TBD when exactly we start, but I think we're going to keep rolling with this show next week right after the watch party every day. So tune in to the watch party every day starting at 10 p.m. Eastern.
All night.
That's right, baby. We'll be staying up all night.
Dangerous nights, baby.
Watching wrestling. So, for Ben Askren, John Kozak, I'm JD Raider. We will see you during the Olympics.
USA, baby.